Recording in progress.
We started discussion on the plants, like what are there are some common characteristics in the plants, and we discussed that they are autotrophs. Why they are autotrophs? Because they have a color containing pigment that is known as chlorophyll, which helps to take energy from the sunlight, and by using that energy, the plants can convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose, and they can use that glucose to
Yeah.
make their own, and actually that glucose is used by them to do their regular work. Okay, so that glucose is their food, and they store,
Yes.
the plants store extra glucose in the form of sucrose. Okay, they store
Yes.
in the there is sucrose. This is known as stored glucose in plants. Okay,
Plants. Yeah.
but in human beings, it is not sucrose. The glucose, the extra glucose in human beings is stored in the form of glycogen. Okay, this is the difference. I
Yes.
told you that in the previous lecture that whenever we take something sweet or any type of food in which there is glucose, but that glucose is beyond our limit. Okay, so what will happen? That uh, the requirement of the glucose for the body to do its work will be used, and all the rest of the glucose will be stored. Okay, and that will be stored in the liver in the
Yeah.
form of glycogen. Similarly, in the plants,
Yes.
they prepare, the whole day there is a photosynthesis process, and they are making glucose in the daylight. So
Yes.
they are not using that glucose completely, but rather than this, some of the glucose remain they store that glucose for further use at night time. Okay, so that is
Yeah.
stored in the form of sucrose. Clear?
Hmm. Yeah.
You cannot store glucose in the form of glucose. To store the glucose, you need to convert it. Your body converts it. So in our system, it is converted into glycogen. In plants, it is converted into sucrose, and sucrose is the stored form. Just like the potatoes.
Yes.
Potatoes have sucrose in them, and similarly, there are
Yeah. Yeah.
some sweet potato and some other things in which there is glucose that is present in the form of sucrose. Now we
Hmm.
are going to look into the parts of the flowering plant. Firstly, the ferns. Ferns are, this is one of the category. This is one of the flowering plants, and in it they have leaves called fronds. Okay, their leaves are known as fronds. They do not produce flowers. This is important. They do not produce. You see, there is no flower on this. There is no flower, but they produce by means of spores. They reproduce by means of spores produced on the underside of the fronds. Actually, their leaves are like this. Okay, their leaves are like this. So in these leaves, they have some spores. Okay, they have some. Wait a minute. Yeah, over here. This one. This is a frond. Their leaves are like
Yeah.
this. And in these leaves, there are these spores. These are known as spores. Okay. Just like, I told you how the reproduction happens in human beings. From the male part, there is sperm, right? And from the female part, there is egg. And these two combine to form a
Yeah.
zygote in
Newborn.
the human being, right? Similarly, now
Yeah.
they are telling us how the reproduction occur in ferns. So in ferns, there are fronds. Okay, their leaves are known as fronds. Why they are known as fronds? Because they are a special type of leaves that do not produce flowers. Okay, you see there are no flowers on them. They do not produce
Yes.
flowers. Second thing
Yes.
is, what they are telling us is that in their fronds there are spores. Okay, there are spores like this. There are many spores. These spores help in reproduction in these plants. Okay, these spores help in reproduction. In these spores, there is genetic
Yeah.
information. Okay, there is
Hmm.
genetic information. So what happens is that during wind, these spores they travel from one plant to another plant. Okay, or over here. So what will happen? A new plant will form over here. Okay, so this is the a type of reproduction in them. Now, read this again. They have mentioned ferns have leaves called fronds Their leaves are known as fronds. They do not produce flowers,
but do
okay?
not
They do,
use flower.
yes. That's why they are
Yeah.
known as fronds. But reproduce by means of spores, okay? Actually, in we will see in some of the plants there are flowers which are responsible for reproduction. But in
Yeah.
these ferns, these flowers are not responsible because there are no flowers in ferns. There are just these leaves, those are known as fronds, and within these fronds there are spores present, okay? And these spores help
Yes.
in reproduction, okay? They help in reproduction. And where these spores are produced? These spores are produced within these leaves, okay? Within these leaves, these fronds. Are you clear with this?
Yeah.
Basically, what they're telling us is that their leaves are known as fronds. They don't have flowers. That's why their reproduction will occur only through the spores which are present in these fronds. Okay. Otherwise, if there were flowers, then we can say that flowers were responsible for reproduction. But now, since these leaves, this plant, it doesn't have any flower. So in this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created a system, a separate system that is of spores. They have spores. These spores are responsible for the reproduction process in the ferns. Clear?
Yeah.
And in them there is an underground stem. Okay, this underground stem that is known as rhizome. Okay, underground stem is known as rhizome, and then there are roots. These are roots.
Right.
Clear? These are some
Yes.
of the important things in the ferns. If I am discussing these
Yeah.
things, it means these are important for diagram. They can ask you the diagram, or they can ask you some other characteristic of this. Okay, so you must know
Yeah.
which part is this. You must know the labeling of these. Okay, characteristics plants with roots, stems, and leaves. First thing is that these are the plants. They have roots, they have stems and leaves. You see, these are the roots, right? These are roots. They have stem
Yeah.
and they have leaves. Clear? They have
Mhm.
leaves. So these are the three important things in the ferns. Then they have leaves called fronds. Their leaves are known as fronds. They do not
From.
produce flowers. They reproduce by spores. Okay, are these things clear? These are very simple.
Yes.
Okay, now next is about the flowering plant. Now, what if we have a flowering plant? So, मस्ती चल रही है, चल रही है. There are now we are going to discuss about the flowering plant. These are the plants that are most familiar to us. Why these are familiar? Because these are very common. You can see them in the streets or in the homes. People have the flowering plants in home. So they are most common and they can be tiny or very large. They vary. Okay, their size vary. They can be tiny or they
Yeah.
can be very large. Many trees are flowering plants. Many trees are what? Flowering plant. It means they have flowers in them. So it means they will
Yes.
reproduce via flowers. Okay, their reproduction system is connected to flowers. Are you clear till
Flowers.
this?
Yes.
Okay. Some common characteristic of the flowering plants is that they have plants with roots, stems, and leaves, just like the ferns. Okay, just like ferns. In the ferns, there were roots, stems,
Yeah.
and leaves. Similarly, in the flowering plants, there will be roots, stems, and leaves. Clear?
Yes.
They reproduce sexually by means of flowers and seeds. Okay, you see, I told you wherever there are flowers, those flowers are responsible for sexual reproduction. We will discuss in detail in the upcoming chapter, where there is the chapter name is reproduction in plants. Okay, so in that chapter, I will tell you how the flowers in the plants help in their reproduction, help in the production of a new plant. Have you ever witnessed it? That whenever there is a flowering plant, that flower is responsible for production of a new plant. Have you ever witnessed it?
No.
Okay,
No.
we will study in that chapter that one flower, how that one flower is responsible for the production of a new plant. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, seeds are produced inside the ovary in the flower. Okay, now I can show you this by the picture just for an idea.
Okay.
Um, okay, this uh, can you see this? Is this visible?
No, I can only see like the biology PDF.
Okay, wait a minute. Now can you see this? This one.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, this is a flowering plant.
Yes.
Okay, this is a flower. So what happens is that there are these petals. These are some other part of it. It is in more detail. Just I am just telling you the idea how it happens. Okay, in these part there are spores. Okay, there are microspores. So what happens is that those spores transfer from here to this green part. Okay, to this green part. You see
Mm.
this yellow part. In this
Yeah.
yellow part, if you see this, they have shown here in this picture that it has spores. Okay, this is known as the
Yeah.
stamen part. Okay, this is the part from
Yes.
where the spores will go to this part. Okay, and when they travel
Mm.
through this, they enter this region. They enter this region, and here the fertilization
Yes.
happens. Okay, and the new plants
Yeah.
emerges here. So this is the concept of
Mm-hmm.
the flowering
Yeah.
plant. I'm just giving you the idea. It is in more detail, just telling you how it happens in the flowering plant. So there, in the flowering plant,
Mm-hmm.
there are two parts: the male part and the female part. The male part is responsible to transfer these spores. Okay, these spores from the this region androecium will transfer to this region, this green region. Okay, this is known as gynoecium,
Mm-hmm.
and in this
Yeah.
there will be reproduction happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is what they have mentioned about the flowering plant. That in flowering plant, it is quite
Mm.
simple. That there are flowers and those flowers are responsible for the reproduction process. But
Reproduction.
if we have plants just like this, the ferns. So in these, there are plants are not flowers are not there. So what is present there? The spores are just present in the fronds. Okay, these spores
Yeah.
are present in the fronds. These spores will spread out and they will be responsible for the production of new plants.
The nipples.
New plants. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now. So some of the characteristics are these are the plants with roots, stems, and leaves. They reproduce sexually by means of flowers and seeds. So you see how they reproduce? They reproduce sexually by flowers and seeds.
Flowers and seeds.
Seeds are produced inside the ovary in the flower. Inside the ovary, it means this one. Over here, this green region. You see this ovary part? This ovary.
Yeah.
So they are saying the seeds are produced over here. Okay? And there
Mm.
this uh, spores, the pollen grains will come and the reproduction will happen. This is what they are saying, that the seeds are produced inside the ovary in the flower. And one more thing,
Mm-hmm.
wherever if someone asks you how I am supposed to recognize in which plant there is sexual reproduction and in which plant there is sexual reproduction is not there. So simple answer for this is that whenever you see a flowering plant, in the flowering plant there will be sexual reproduction. Okay, there will be two
Yeah.
gametes involved, the male gamete and the female gamete. But if you see any
Yeah.
plant in which there are no flowers, sometimes the flower shape is different. Okay, so you can't say that this is not a
Yeah.
flowering plant. You need to check the details whether that is a flowering plant or not. So if that is
Yeah.
not a flowering plant, then it means in that plant the reproduction process is asexual. Okay, that is not sexual.
Yes.
Sexual reproduction will happen only in flowering plant. Clear? Sexual reproduction means that the male part and the female part are involved. just like the human in the case of the human beings. Then there is a sexual reproduction
Yeah.
in which the male gamete and the female gamete is responsible for the production of the new young zygote, okay, the new young embryo. So
Yeah.
similarly, the case is similar in the plants. Whenever you see a flowering plant, in that flowering plant there will be sexual reproduction. Okay, and if you see any plant in which there are no flowers, genetically that plant is just like the ferns. So you will see there are some other ways in that. Most of the time, their spores will spread out. Okay, and you see why it is asexual
Yeah.
because in this just one parent is involved. Okay. I told you if the one parent
Mhm.
is involved, that is known as asexual, right? The spores are going and they are producing the plant. Clear? Are you
Yeah.
clear?
Yeah.
I told you the difference between the
Yeah.
sexual and asexual reproduction where I told you about the bacteria, how bacteria produce
Yeah.
asexually. Yeah, so this is the same
Yeah.
over here. Okay. Now, flowering plants can be divided into two main groups, the monocotyledons and the dicotyledons plants. Okay, what does it mean, monocotyledons and dicotyledons? Actually, in their seed, in the monocots, there is just one division. Okay, in the monocots are those which have one cotyledon in their seed. Okay, one cotyledon means one outer covering on their seed. Okay,
Yeah.
but if we see the dicotyledons will have two aberrations. I can show you this over here. Monocotyledons and
Oh.
yeah, this one. Or this one is okay. You see, this is what I'm saying. Monocot means this seed is just one. It has one cotyledon, one coat outside. But you see this dicot. This is divided into two. Okay, this is one cell, but it has a division in the center. That's why it is known as two cotyledons. It has
Yeah.
two cotyledons.
True. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is
Yes.
its roots will look like this and it will be like this because in this in this there is uniform division. Some are on the right side and some are on the left side. But in this there is
Yes.
non-uniform division of the root. Clear? Its
Yeah.
flowers look like this.
Yes.
It has petals, multiple. It has 4 to 5 petals. Its leaves are like this and its leaves are like this oval shape. Clear? Are you clear with
Yeah.
the difference
Yes.
of the monocots and
Mm-hmm.
dicots? Okay. Yeah, this is what they're telling us that monocots have only one cotyledon in their seeds. They usually have a branching root system. Okay, their system is branched. You see, the monocots
Yeah.
they're having branching system.
Brown.
Yes,
Yeah.
and often have leaves in which the veins run in parallel to one another. There are what they're saying. The leaves are parallel to each other, like this. This one. This is the
Yeah.
leaf. The fourth one. You see, they are parallel to each other. Here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will share this picture with you. It will be easy for you to
Okay.
understand it from the picture. They usually have branching roots system and often have leaves in which the veins run in parallel. Okay, the veins run in parallel. Just like they are saying these are the leaves, they have these parallel lines on it. Okay, dicots.
Mm.
Dicots have two cotyledons. They frequently have a tap root system. Okay, their root system is tap form like this tap root. This is known as tap root, in which there are some of the branches are on the right side and some of the branches are on the left side. This look like a tap. Okay, that's why this is
Yeah.
known as
Yeah.
tap root. But in the monocot, it was fibrous root. Okay, are you clear with the difference?
Yes.
Okay, and the leaves in them are oval shaped.
By the way, do you have to memorize all of these stuff?
No, no, no. Just you need to. This picture will give you the idea how it look like because they have mentioned a difference.
Oh,
So
okay.
there are chances that I can ask you or the examiner can ask you the difference. What
The
is the difference between
differences.
dicot
Oh.
and monocot? So if you know the picture, you can easily differentiate, right?
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
They frequently have a taproot system and their leaves are often broader than those of the monocots. Now what they're saying, the leaves of the dicots are broader like this. The leaves are broader. You see this picture? Yeah, this one.
Mm-hmm.
You see their leaves are broader as compared to the leaves of monocots. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, what are the differences? First is monocot has one cotyledon, dicot has two cotyledons. Monocots are fibrous
Yeah.
roots, they are fibrous, while the
And
dicots have
taproot.
tap roots. And what about leaves?
It has narrow parallel wings and
Yeah, parallel veins.
that
Parallel veins means like if I want to draw it like this, it
on
will be
sides.
hmm, it will look like this. Like this is in it, there will be parallel lines like this. This is what they're saying. The parallel veins. They have parallel veins. Did you get this?
Yes, yes.
This one. Okay, in this. Okay. And what about the
Yeah.
dicot?
It will have what's it called? Oval or palm net-like veins.
You can simply say the
Big
broader. Their leaves are broader.
net-like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are not like they don't have parallel veins. They are broader. Okay. They are broader than those of monocots and have a network of branching veins. Okay. There in them there are branched veins like this. Okay. There is branching. These are not parallel. You
Mm-hmm.
see, this is parallel. These are parallel veins, and these are
Mm-hmm.
branched. I hope you are clear with the difference.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now moving on. One more time. Now, can you tell me the difference between monocot and dicot?
Okay. What's it called?
Firstly, tell me about
Uh,
the flowering plant.
okay. Wait.
What?
What's it called? The
Yeah, you can
flower.
read
No,
read
like
from here. You have book right now.
no, no, wait. No, like the monocot, dicot. The seeds are one. For monocot, it's one uh, cotyledon, and for
Uh,
dicot, it's two.
yeah. And
And what's it called? The monocot has parallel leaves, and dicot has like wider or like net type leaves. And the flowers
yes,
of
monocot.
monocot,
Yes. And then
yeah, flowers of monocot have like petals in multiples like of three, but dicot have petals four or like have four or five petals. And
yes.
dicot has tap roots, and monocot has fibrous roots.
And what about the general characteristic of the flowering plant?
That they reproduce.
Hmm. Some of the common things which are present in the flowering plant. Every flowering plant.
Yeah,
See the
they have
screen.
like leaves, stems, or roots.
Leaves. Yeah,
They're
leaf
reproduced
stems.
by flowers
Not stems, these are
and
stems.
leaves and roots. Yeah, stems,
Stems.
sorry, and
Yeah, and
roots.
roots. And their leaves are
And
they
they
yes.
reproduce.
Yeah, they reproduce here. There is
Flowers
sexual
of
reproduction. Yeah, there is sexual reproduction in them. And
um, what's it called?
yes,
Like
and
seeds are
flowers in
produced
them.
in the
There are
ovary,
flowers in them. Yes.
and they're divided into two main groups:
Hmm.
monocotyledonous and
Monocotyledons. Monocotyledons. Okay.
monocotyledons
Then
and
dicotyledons.
dicotyledons.
Yes. And this is the general uh, difference in them. You see this? This is corn plant. It is a monocot. Okay, so it looks like
Yeah,
this. Their leaves are like this. They have parallel veins. You see, and their leaves.
yeah,
And you see over here, there is no flower. If you see, it look like it doesn't have flower. But I told you that if some plant is, you can't judge by just watching it. Okay, how you can check it?
yeah,
You can check it by reading from the Google or from any other thing, any other resource. That this is a flowering plant, but in the flowering plant you have two categories: the monocots and the dicots. These are dicots. Okay, their leaves are broader. They don't have parallel veins, but
yeah.
their veins are branched. Okay, Their branch
Branched,
means
yeah.
yes, and there and also there was a difference about the petals, but that is not mentioned here. So you just need to memorize those which are present over here. The differences. First difference is that
Yeah,
the monocots have one cotyledon, dicots have two cotyledons, and the in the monocots there are parallel veins. Okay, the leaves are having parallel veins, while the dicots have two cotyledons. Okay, two cotyledons. Their and
yeah,
yeah, their leaves are broader. Okay, the dicots leaves are
yeah,
broader. Okay,
yeah.
and what about the ferns?
The ferns are what's called
Mhm.
um
It is
like
mentioned here. You see this.
yeah, the ferns are like have leaves called fronds.
Yeah, their leaves are fronds. Why they are known as
Yeah,
fronds?
because like what's uh
We
like they're
cannot predict why their name is frond. Basically, the scientists uh, have specific system for naming things. But we know about the frond.
mm,
What is the specific thing we know about the ferns?
for like they don't produce flowers.
Hmm. They do not produce
So
flowers.
like fronds maybe like
But then how
a
they will
flow
reproduce if they don't have flowers? How they will reproduce?
uh by spores.
Yes,
They reproduce by
by
spores.
the spores. Spores and where spores are present?
Like underside of the fronds.
Yes, underside of the fronds. The below side. Underside
Fronds.
means the below side of the
Yeah,
fronds.
yeah.
Okay. What are some common characteristics of the ferns?
Like they have plants with roots, stems, and leaves,
Yes.
and they have leaves called fronds, but they don't
Hmm.
produce flowers, and they're reproduced by
Spores.
spores.
Yeah, they reproduce by the spores. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, now we are done with this chapter. And wait a minute, just let me find.